name's Sarah, and I'm the Technology and Learning Coach at the International School of Bangkok. We started this year with 3 school-wide goals for our pre-K-12 initiatives, or sort of areas of focus on learning that we wanted to focus on as a school. Challenge, assessment for learning, and e-learning. I saw an opening because e-learning was a school-wide focus, K-12, and I knew that if we were going to be successful in that, we had to really dig deep and see what were we missing, and could we be more authentically and meaningfully integrating technology. I don't want to be somebody who thinks that it's all about fancy tools. I really want to be student learning based, but I also felt like we could have been doing more. My second goal was to make sure that we were we were basing everything that we were doing on our standards. So at ISB we use the COETAIL standards that were developed in-house, and that includes supporting students to be effective learners, collaborators, communicators, creators, and digital citizens. And of course, that was definitely a theme that ran through all of our initiatives. I rooted my work in the NET standards for coaches, particularly in terms of the visionary leadership and the professional development strand. What is the best instructional tool for the learning, and why? How do we take advantage of connectivity in order to improve learning for our students? Last year, because we had an amazing technology and learning coach who planted the seed, and her and the librarian worked together to get a hub of 24 iPads that could be checked out of our library. And these were flying off the shelves at the beginning of the school year. We really were having trouble managing it because the iPads are not really designed to be a shared device, and we encountered a lot of problems. But we were so excited by the high level of interest and engagement that we were seeing. I created a form, a Google form, where they had to apply and they had to talk about how they were going to be using them to really move learning forward, and not just thinking about how would they use different games, but how would they be able to use them maybe for digital portfolios, or for making metacognition visible, or for small group instruction, and also the supports that they needed in order to be effective. We certainly didn't want anyone to think that they had to be an expert. We know that we're all learners. It was a growth mindset, and an excitement to learn, and a willingness to take risk, because when you're starting out with a new app to test it with your kids, you don't really know whether it's going to be successful. You don't know whether it's even going to be effective.
Well, it was a cool learning experience because I had the opportunity to kind of learn as I go, and I think my kids kind of did the same. We kind of took some risks and tried some things out, not knowing how it was going to turn out, but I think that helped us have a better understanding of the iPads in the end. We kind of learned from our mistakes then.
Well, it's been a rather exciting journey because really I didn't know much about iPad or what I could do with it. So it opened up a whole lot of opportunities.
We had our e-learning team, and within our e-learning team, we got together with all those teachers who also had iPads, and we were sharing apps that really worked for us. We were sharing apps that personally we found, that our kids knew about, ones we've tried with our kids, ones we would like to try with our kids.
It was kind of nice, in a low-key sort of friendly way, and we all did it in a natural sort of guided situation by an awesome leader, Sarah.
The iPad helps my math learning, my accuracy, and my speed.
With the iPads, we've learned how to publish our own books, and so we can use them at home if we have an iPad and show our parents. We also do for our math. We practice our strategies, which would be easier because we can think and phrase and move on. For me, like when I learn with the iPad, I sort of feel connected and more comfy because then I'm like, I know like the process, and then can be more surprised and like, oh, I didn't know the iPad could do that. And then
Did you like creating the book?
Yeah.
Why?
Because we would share it on the iPad
Who can you share it with?
with my other friends. Because most of the apps are learning apps like Dictionary. You can make words.
What's frustrating sometimes, it just doesn't work when you use your finger or something and it doesn't always tap correctly. But it's just something different, and it kind of always gets you more hooked somehow. It's not as boring. It's just
As long as you keep it to apps that help your learning, they'll help you, because there are some things like on the iPads that you can't do with paper and a pencil.
We've used the iPads in a variety of ways, in math, in reading, in writing, and I learned from it that you definitely have the kids take the lead. They're super intuitive, so you kind of let them explore and lead the way, and I'm just kind of there following.
It kind of levels the playing field. And so actually, sorry, I'm just having this realization right now as I'm talking to you, that I actually don't see as much of those differences in my learners when they're using the iPads. I don't see, some kids who maybe need learning support actually stand out a lot of times when they're using the iPads. They're very strong in that because they've experienced it before.
And we also used them for student-led conferences, and I could tell parents were extremely impressed that kids were teaching their parents the app, so that was really nice. And they were using it to show their strategy work in math. So it was really impressive. It makes the kids articulate their learning either with adults, students. So it's been good.
I think for me the biggest eye-opener was they were able to reflect on their learning in a more authentic way. Because before I used to just give them a piece of paper and say, what strategies did you use and what did you do? And they were very difficult for them to write anything down because they can't write a lot anyway, especially in the beginning of the year. So by orally speaking, they really had to articulate their thinking.
They've been excited. More choice has been involved now that iPads are in, so the kids are choosing how they show their learning in different ways. So it's been really great.
But it's been fun to watch the kids learn apps and then teach those apps in smaller groups to other students.
I think that's a really neat thing. Kids can be experts in certain areas of the iPads or certain apps, and they can help each other out with that.
A lot of tutorials, and it's just great practice for them to verbalize their thinking through it, which is a challenge for the EALs. And it's great to go back and hear them, and you can actually pick up some other language needs when you watch the video, so it's fantastic.
Some children would automatically go and get their iPad and say, I want to do a reflection because I've seen a change in my mealworm, and some did about 5 different reflections, and other students would do it, 2 or 3, so they could stretch their learning in that way.
Learning is accessible, it's not complicated, it's you have the high level of engagement, and you also just have kids who are proud of the things that they're able to do and are producing and creating things that would be previously inconceivable or very time consuming or very difficult without the iPad.
So we got busy planning professional development opportunities for teachers to prepare them for next year. They were led by students, e-learning leaders, and myself. We focused on everything from logistics and management to apps for learning. I have learned that there is so much more to learn, and I have made many new mistakes. Next year still feels very daunting, ensuring that the rollout is successful. But it is clear from our work this year that there is so much potential. To be continued.
Next year it's going to be great when everyone has iPads, because they can probably go away and practice and get ready for next year. And everyone, when I talked to people who came back from my team, they were excited about it.